resources, right? Because when you put them around schools like that, you're keeping it safe, and it's not really for us in the community. So resources need to come in straight into the community.
Okay. Anybody else? I mean, we need this. This is the kind of data we need. Live data, video data.
Okay, so I have a question for all of you who are out here in the community helping. How do you deal with the generation who feels like they are entitled to something, and they're not willing to work and get out here and earn a living for themselves? What do you do to get to those individuals? Because I feel like those individuals are the ones who are being left behind, and those are the ones that we need to really fight for and to get a hold of.
Okay. And I might add, this is a instructor at East LA College who's talking. So actually, Tracy, why don't you, tell them who you are. Come on. What department?
Hello, everyone. My name is Tracy Griffin. I'm a professor, adjunct professor here at East LA College. I am in the Allied Health HIT program. I have been in the medical field for over 40 years. I have worked as a nurse, and I have worked as a medical coder, a manager, medical biller, and an instructor. When I came up in school, I was given opportunities in high school. My senior year in high school, I spent it at Martin Luther King Hospital training to be an LVN nurse. We need to bring back more training into these schools. Get these kids when they're in elementary, junior high school, they have to start out young to learn, to want to learn. That's how we build productive people. But it's also going to take parents to help, because the teachers cannot do it by themselves. The parents have to want to be a part of this and to see and fight for their kids. We can't sit down and do nothing. We got to fight for our children. Our children are being left behind. And I don't mean just African Americans, I mean all our races. They're being left behind. We're not in Beverly Hills. I'm from South Central. I grew up in Watts. I was born and raised. But I fought my way out because I wanted more for myself. So I got a free education. I'm sorry. I even my credentials as a health information technology, it was free. LA County paid for it. But I earned it. I didn't give up. So now I'm giving back to the students who are coming here to ELAC, because I am an alumni here. And I want to get back to the community and to the people who come here to want to learn. So what are we going to do to get those and reach those out there who feel like they just want a fast buck? But that fast buck is going to get them either in jail or in the grave.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Hype in.
So some groups that I do want to highlight are seniors. I really want to put that out there that they also, retirement age, being extended, they need sources of funding and training. So I want to highlight that. I want to re-emphasize about the focus on small business owners. I would say for immigrant communities, communities of color, that those business ownership is really not out of so much aspiration, but lack of options. And so they're very much isolated, they're working very long hours, usually in a very harsh environment. And they don't have that luxury, they don't have the connections to come out to these type of gatherings. So I'm glad that there were at least a couple of voices here in the room speaking on their behalf. But I really like the idea of like USC students coming alongside and helping them do marketing or payroll, whatever it may be. I really think that there should be a lot more of that kind of intentional investment. We, in the past, we were partnered with LA County's Youth at Work, paid internship program for 14 through 24. And it's like 600 employers, county, government, private as well as nonprofits. But, when I share this program, I hear from individuals saying, well, you know what, actually, what if you're older than 24? Is there something there for them? I know that City of LA does the targeted local hire program, but it's like a lottery system. But I really think there should be more of that type of program. And I was telling Stella also that for any type of like paid training, training opportunities, that they should be paid, for many of the low income individuals. Otherwise, they can't take advantage and exercise those opportunities and access them. So that's another piece. And again, the ethnic media, I think, is really important partner because they're the one that kind of gets the word out to different underserved communities. And I feel the pain here. As I said, it's supposed to be racial and geographic, but the fact that there's no racial is something, especially again as an API in this county, we're so underrepresented, even though again we make up the second largest minority, that I really want to just put another push out there. This was supposed to be the kind of gathering where their voices were supposed to be heard, but with such a short notice, the kind of mobilizing that's really needed didn't happen. And so.
Okay. This is a chance for everybody to air it out. Come on. We need more reactions to.
Thank you. And sorry I'm standing up, but it was a good meal. I gotta stand up. No, I want to appreciate everyone who's here, especially the panelists, for sharing. And I think I want to echo the feedback around data. And around having very explicit conversations about race when the opportunity arises, and really take that opportunity, because I think my fear is that if we don't have those conversations here, what happens is when we're done, we'll submit a report that says we had a conversation about race, and we really did it, and we don't take these opportunities to really speak on it. When we were hearing earlier about the data that was presented, I was almost like, this data is actually telling us who's being discriminated by, or discriminated in the workforce. So with all the data that tells us this is who gets jobs, this is who doesn't, I'm hearing that folks that get an education are more likely to get a job, although that's changing very quickly. But when we're also talking about degrees, we also know that it's primarily communities of color who don't have access to the degree. So I appreciate the conversation about changing the requirements, about it being more about experience and creating opportunities for experience. But we really do need to bring that hard data in that speaks about the experience of folks of color as they try to get these opportunities, and what is the bias and discrimination that they experience. Not directly, because sometimes we think it's like, oh, I don't like you because of the color of your skin. It's the policies that are there, it's the hiring practices that are there, that we just continue to do the same things over and over again because we've done them, even though the data is telling us that it's our folks who are not getting these jobs. So I would love to see more data for sure moving forward.
Okay, great. Anybody else? We got time for a couple more. Again, name again?
Hi, my name's Esther from Mentor for Change. One thing that came up, not only through the 5 weeks of convenings that we had during May, but also more recently as we've been walking with program participants who are facing challenge, is that there are people who have gotten the education they need, but they've gotten additional credentials on top of their associates or bachelors, and yet they're still not getting the call from potential employers. They have successfully acquired the credentials, but they're not getting the opportunity. And Athena mentioned that there's a program called Youth at Work. We do have students who are involved in that, but that kind of work is only for like youths who are still probably in high school or just in the process of getting maybe their associates. But we have, young adults now, or full adults who have their associates, who have their bachelor's degrees, but they're still working, they're still being underemployed and not fully employed for the credentials that they achieve because they haven't been given the opportunity. They don't look like what the companies look like. They are of different minority races. Some people have disabilities. Some people have a very long period of non-work because there were health conditions or they were raising children that made them not desirable as employees. Yet they put in the work of getting the credentials they needed. So there has to be some type of guaranteed work employment program that once you have achieved a certain level of credentials, then you should receive the opportunity to work. Because it's not a living level playing field, and that's been like heartbreaking in many situations. To be underutilized, to be underemployed, to be employed in a field that you are so much overqualified for because you don't get the opportunity for the positions that you did educate yourself for.
Okay, great. Okay, one more person. Okay, two. We got two, and then we're finished.
Thank you. I'm Catherine. I'm from College Project. And really, just very simply, when we went through the survey, people were asking, where are these jobs? Where are these jobs? And with the information that we received from the data, where are these jobs? If somebody could, if on their website, we have something to show these opportunities, I would love to be able to present at least one job, something, where are these opportunities that we saw in all these new particular areas, but we don't see them. Everybody that I spoke to said they go to Indeed.com, maybe Monster, maybe they go, on some Facebook, different places, but where are these jobs that we could refer people to? That would be amazing. And so if that one thing comes out of this, that would be amazing.
Okay. Okay, Linda, take us home.
Hi, I'm Linda Kelly from Fathers and Mothers Who Care. And to the young lady that asked about how do we get to the students or our young adults that feel entitled. It takes a lot of listening. We have to listen even when they're talking about stuff that most of us don't even care to hear. We still have to keep listening until our ears are tired. We deal with the youth. If they come in a cluster, as long as we get one or two, the rest of them will fall off, but they'll come back. Because then they'll see that the one or two that we did grab, that they're doing something, they're starting to make money, they're liking what they're doing, and then that's how we get the youth. As far as our seniors and stuff go, we need to retrain them in soft skills. A lot of our seniors had manual labor, and they need soft skills to come inside to work. So that's something we need to work on. I had a conversation with another group, and the thing about taking our unskilled people and getting them to work is that our government is not listening when we're saying that we cannot just train them and then expect them to have a learned behavior of knowing how to handle the finances. You're just cutting them off from whatever assistance that they already have. As soon as we get them employed at one paycheck, they still have other skills that they need to learn in order before you cut them off. Child care is hard, so don't cut them off of Crystal Stairs after their one check. So it's a lot of government things that need to change in order to get our workforce working. Thank you.
Wow, great. Well, Jay, I think you can take us home. Anything you want to add to what you just heard?
Please unmute.
He's on mute. Jay, you're on mute.
I think he checked out.
No, he didn't check out. He can't talk to us. Well, I'm gonna have to step in for Jay. He can't hear us. He can't hear us.
I don't hear you.
Okay.
I'm ready to close my microphone.
Okay, Jay, we're trying to see if you had any responses to the things that we just heard in the room. Can you hear me?
Jay, can you hear us?
I can hear you.
Okay.